A CBS News exclusive. For the first time, we're seeing video from the aftermath of the deadliest Iranian strike on U.S. military personnel since the war began. It happened on the very first day of hostilities when an Iranian drone hit the command post of an American base in Kuwait, killing 6 American service members and injuring many more. Our Jonah Kaplan spoke exclusively with one soldier who survived the attack, an attack he said the Army knew was possible but failed to prepare for. Now, we agreed to obscure his identity and alter his voice because he is speaking without the military's permission.
So when the blast happens, I was knocked down. I just heard the explosion. Everything shook, and it's something like what you see in the movies. You know, everything. Your ears are ringing. Everything's fuzzy. You know, your vision is blurry. You're dizzy. You know, there's dust and smoke everywhere.
When you're knocked down like that from a blast, what's it like to get back up?
For me, my focus was just on, am I okay? Can I move? Where's my helmet? I grab my helmet, put my helmet on, and then it's where are my teammates? And, you know, like the first person I came across obviously had a head and neck injury. And you've got training, of course. You don't move those folks because you could paralyze them. So you're having these competing thoughts like, should I stabilize this person where he is? Or, well, wait, flames are already starting. We just got hit. There could be a follow-on strike. We've got to move him. So how do I do that safely? You know, you think through all of those little things and small decisions.
What about medical teams?
Our medical capabilities there at Shueba were very limited. We had to evacuate ourselves and get ourselves to the hospital.
You had to treat yourselves and then get yourselves to the hospital?
Yes, evacuate ourselves, help each other, you know, drive ourselves to the hospital and, you know, get to medical care. Just the way the blast hit, it's very hard to make sense of because some people were hit much harder than others. So some people got a lot of shrapnel. Some people didn't get any shrapnel. Sergeant Amers is one who, she didn't get any shrapnel at all that I could see. There was no exterior bleeding, but she was hit so hard by the concussive force, immediately both her eyes are black and blue. You know, she's gasping for air. You know, I'm not a doctor, but clearly her lungs are filling with blood.
What's it like seeing your colleagues, your teammates in that condition?
I think in the moment, it's all you can think about is how to help them and how to get out of there. You know, I have immense pride. You know, like I have some very junior soldiers that are very quiet, just kind of did their job day in and day out. And when this happened, they just came to life. They're helping carry people, and there were some real heroes at the Port of Shueba, and I'm very humbled by that and very proud of them.
What were some of the other wounds that you were dealing with?
We had soldiers, you know, soldiers who had were hit in the arm and lost control of their limbs, head wounds, you know, heavy bleeding, lots of perforated eardrums, people who can't hear. Some folks had their glasses blown off, they can't see. Some folks lost the use of an eye immediately, you know, having trouble seeing, trouble with balance, and then just shrapnel all over. So folks are bleeding from their abdomen, bleeding from their arms, bleeding from their legs.
This was a direct hit.
Yeah, 100%.
As you look back on it, what are the images that you can't get out of your mind?
So for me, it's the soldiers that we lost because, you know, I helped carry them. You know, I still see their faces. I see somebody who looks like them, somebody who has a similar haircut or similar build, wears a similar set of glasses, something like that. And I think for a moment, oh, it's Sergeant Amer, oh, it's Major Cork, and it's not. And then you have to remind yourself, well, of course it's not. You know, you identify their body, you help carry them, they're gone. I think that's the stuff that stays with you.
A Pentagon spokesperson declined to comment on the soldiers' claims, citing an active investigation. Addressing the deadly drone attack, the department previously said every possible measure had been taken to safeguard U.S. troops. The injured soldiers are back in the U.S., and some now are dealing with lifelong injuries.